So we'll spotlight some more success stories from across industries, and first up, we've got marketing. So in the age of AI, moving fast and staying on brand is no small feat. At MGA, they do just that with Airtable AI. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Claudia Michon, our head of product marketing at Airtable, and Ashlee Meese, VP of Franchise and Integrated Marketing at MGA.
For the record, I love IRL Kate, so don't ever replace yourself with AI. Well, I'm very excited because this is going to be a really fun session. If you have ever seen a Bratz doll or gotten your hands on one of those super fun Miniverse toys that you see in those iconic spherical containers, you have experienced MGA Entertainment, which is the company we're going to be speaking with today. And here we have Ashlee Meese, Vice President of Franchise and Integrated Marketing at MGA Entertainment. And she's going to tell us about her and her team have been putting Airtable to work. We've got a special treat. She's going to be showing us some future-looking stuff that we've been building as well. Ashlee, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Let's just start off by giving people a taste of what your universe looks like when you walk into the office in the morning and some of the challenges you have to deal with nestled amongst all those delightful, wonderful toys.
Yes, so imagine cross-brand marketing across dozens of brands that you can see here. We mentioned Bratz, Little Tikes, LOL Surprise, across dozens of countries, hundreds of retailers, and in the marketing world, thousands and thousands of assets. So it's very crazy, very fast, and especially with some of our brands. We launch new SKUs every single 90 days. So brands like Miniverse, our brand new brand Cartooned. It's fast, it's global, it's relentless. There's just no pause button.
It's one thing to ship digital products, but these are physical goods with very vast cross-functional teams. So very impressive. It sounds like a logistical challenge, to say the least.
Yes.
And what was kind of the breaking point or the moment where you realized coming in, okay, we've got to change the way that we're working to make this a smoother, better process?
Yeah, we actually call it the pink umbrella moment. This was an image for one of our packaging for Miniverse. We knew the pink umbrella existed out of the 40,000 assets, but it was going to be a very big challenge to actually find that.
Like a needle in a haystack.
Yes.
Well, so where did you start with trying to create more of this broader transformation? Obviously, the pink umbrella kind of being the litmus test for a bigger underlying challenge that you're just kind of running into every single day. I'm sure you didn't go into the office and say, okay, everybody, we're using Airtable now.
No.
How did you do this?
Yeah, I mean, all of the teams were using SharePoint or Box or putting things on their own hard drive. So I knew, and using Airtable at my previous company, you don't start with the tech, you really start with the people and knowing what works. So when I arrived at MGA Entertainment about a year and a half ago, the Miniverse team was already using Airtable. They had built a killer app. They kept their budgets, all of their social calendars. So I was excited because I was like, oh, those are my people, my Airtable people. But instead of just telling everyone, hey, this is amazing, you should use this, I actually said, Miniverse team, show everyone what you built. And I think that was the real movement internally, as people saw their coworkers and saw brands and products that were familiar to them, and it was solving problems. It was making things move faster for the team. So it was a really easy moment for them to be like, wow, I want that. So
smart. Find your power users, let them do the marketing for you.
Exactly. So we started small. Everyone loves a good team directory. So everyone, we were like, hey, get used to the platform, add your photo, add your interest, and really took it from there.
There's Ashlee and her adorable doggie.
Yes.
Love it. Well, we're going to go ahead and transition to seeing some of this in action. I'm very excited about this. Full disclosure, Ashlee and I and the team started talking a couple months ago before a lot of these capabilities were even available. Some we just announced today, and she and her team were gracious enough to sit down with us and understand what her challenges were. And so the team at Airtable, Jonathan Katz, Aisha Bose, Alain Bartour, partnered with Ashlee and Nicole Smith at MGA, and we're going to show you some of this in action. So over to you.
Yes. So before I get started, just some context on my role. Integrated marketing kind of sits between all the brand teams, creative services, and all of the assets. So at the center of that are creative briefs, and lots of them. They come in fast, they come in furiously, and a lot of times they're unstructured. So what Airtable has been able to do and create is take unstructured data and create a to-do list. So our project manager was very excited when I showed her this demo of taking details in a creative brief and essentially breaking out into separate tasks. So now a creative brief where somebody put in a lot of things to do, which should have been probably 7 or 8 briefs, actually turned it into those separate projects for us.
As a Virgo, this is my kind of magic, taking like chaos and just neatly organizing it so that anybody can figure out what is actually going on, find it very easily.
Yes, and it's really great because again, it's automatically tagging what we need to do in this process. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so take us through it. What do we have next?
All right, so again, we have a creative brief come in. Usually the team includes the SKU numbers that it needs to pull. We also have Box connected to Airtable. So what this is doing, it's scanning the brief. It's looking to see what SKU numbers are included. And in this case, it showed some mermaids for that first one. So you can see it's opening it up. It is recommending seeing some SKUs that it found. So again, this is pulling from our Box repository. But what's even more cool is that if there's not a SKU mentioned, it actually searches our database for something that could work. So even though this was an LOL post and example, it was smart enough to know, oh, it's an LOL doll spa day. So they actually found spa and listed in one of our mini-verse titles, and it actually brought that product in. So a little surprise that we weren't expecting, but was very helpful with the creation of this social post.
Now you can go to the spa with all your free time now.
I know, right?
I'm having to look for this. Well, I think the next piece of this story has been interesting because we talked about the pink umbrella. We hadn't yet figured it out. We hadn't helped you, find this pink umbrella. So we're gonna do just that. But instead of a pink umbrella, we are going to find a pink Chevy vehicle. All of you actually in your goodie bag, MGA has given you a little treat. You will have one of their brand new cartoon vehicles. Who actually has the pink Chevy truck?
We were looking.
Oh, we got a couple of
Woohoo!
there. Okay.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
I know he has one.
Okay, so now how do we find them amongst thousands and thousands and thousands of digital assets?
Yeah, so again, one of the things that on Box, we have metadata that's naming our files, whether it's in pack or out of pack. But when we're looking for something very specific, in this case, I was like, I want to find a pink Chevy that's in packaging. So this example does just that. So it's really amazing. It can search all of the metadata. The field agents categorize it into brand, which season it is, and also it's reading the objects in the image there that you can see. This was, huge for us, for AI to be able to extract so much more information in addition to what the metadata already had. Was incredible. One of the searches, it's not in here, but with Miniverse, we do a lot of photography with hands. So they were showing us how, just including hands, it was popping up all of the product images, Miniverse and all of our doll brands, with images that exclusively had hands. So in my world, that's lifestyle. So it's not just a plain, static image. So it was really cool to be able to use this and just kind of play around with it when I gave them the data of like, wow, now I can literally just, type something with hands and it will show up. So it's a game changer, I'm telling you. It's pretty cool.
And it looks so simple, but very, very powerful because underneath the hood, again, this is an example of AI agents working around the clock, just doing all of this heavy lifting. Instead of having a team of people coming through it, you've just got agents on demand, finding it when you want it. Well, let's keep going. Let's see an actual search.
Yeah, so this is that famous pink Chevy. So cool, right?
So this is going to loop. Let's see. Let's see it again because it's very fast. We're going to go to search, type it in, et voila, we find the pink Chevy. It's like Google for all of your images in your own database.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, that's incredible. So how much does this one single use case, how much time has this saved your team or will save your team?
I mean, guys, we would spend so much time looking for a brand and then find the season and then find the SKU. Like, this is such a game changer. What used to take us several minutes or hours or even days, you can see it takes seconds. So the amount of time just operationally that we spend looking for things because they aren't filed correctly or aren't tagged correctly, Airtable can help us put some common sense into how we can organize these assets.
And one of the things I was struck by when we first started speaking, we could have just come up here and done a conversation about where you've been so far. MGA is really embracing this technology and AI, and you were very excited to dive in and figure out how can we help solve your challenges and just create a better experience for all of your employees. How has that mentality and philosophy cascaded across operations and how the company operates in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's smarter, yes, it's faster, yes, but I think for MGA, the culture change and just providing visibility of what all of our brand teams are doing globally. I mean, this was a company that, you go so fast that it's hard to keep everyone updated. So being able to have a system, a source of truth, where our CMO can go in, understand the lay of the land, and it's been groundbreaking to get us all on the same page.
Any numbers you can share? We love to see stats.
I can share some numbers. So, we built a whole creative services platform, and again, the time it has saved has been incredible. We're cutting our processing time up to 60%, even more. And that awesome team directory that I just started just to get people used to the platform, it actually has become the source of truth for the entire company. If they're looking for any sales or marketing, contact people, because our internal systems, it moves so fast, no one can keep up, but Airtable can. So that's the magic.
Yeah, and I don't think you're doing yourself justice, because from what I've learned from you and your colleagues, you are really leading the charge at Airtable. This starting in your function and your organization catching on like wildfire, and so I love that it's a fellow marketer who's driving this change. So kudos to you. For other marketing leaders watching this, either here or on our live stream, what advice would you give for trying to drive a transformation like this?
I would say, start small, focus on your people using it and not the platform. And, test and learn. The other speakers talked about just trying things out. Not everything you try is going to work. But I think just building it into your everyday practice is really where the power begins.
Wonderful. Well, we've got one last treat, one last surprise. All of you will be getting a Miniverse toy when you leave today, so it will be in the back of the room available. Take it home. You don't have to share it with your children. We will not tell them. Ashlee, thank you so much
Yes,
for joining
thank
us,
you.
for giving us the opportunity to partner with you and do some of these experiments. It's been a blast, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.